finished Delicate Escape. Now, I am going to preface this with a trigger warning. This book contains triggering content, and I will be discussing part of that in this review. If you struggle with DV, DA, please make sure you're in the right headspace. Because I did not know I was going to be triggered by this book until I was. And I was like, oh, this is happening. These long buried memories are resurfacing. Why? And I did have to take breaks. Now, let me be clear, this book was fantastic. How the domestic abuse was handled was brilliant. How it showcased that it is not just physical abuse that affects a person and the impact any sort of abuse can have. And I thought Catherine did such an amazing job. But let me just scoot back just a little bit. So I've never read a Catherine Cowles book before, so I didn't really know what to expect. I knew it was romantic suspense, and I love a bit of suspense, and it is performed by Erin Mallon and Teddy Hamilton. I almost said Teddy Sherlock. Teddy Hamilton. And when it came up as an ALC, I was like, awesome. Romantic suspense, my girl Erin, I love her and everything. Teddy, can you even go wrong with a Teddy book? So I was like, yeah, let's dive in. They were brilliant. I will definitely be doing more Catherine Cowles books, 100%. The way Erin Mallon performed Thea and really used her talent to show how this character was feeling and processing, even when it wasn't like the written word. Like, you could still hear that sense of foreboding, that sense of fear, that sense of being on edge. And I thought that was absolutely astounding. And I think this might be one of my favourite Erin performances. And then Teddy, I cried, and yes, I kissed Teddy's name. Because again, yes, the words were there, but the performance and that fear and those feelings he had, it was really well done, and really again showcased not just what was happening in the moment, but what has happened in the past, and you hear that throughout. And the book itself, oh my goodness. So like I say, the way it showcased the impact that abuse can have, and when you see that in somebody else and wanting to help that person, but knowing they have to want to do that for themselves, and cutting yourself off and not wanting to let people in. And we really see Thea struggling with that. Like, how do I move on when there is this fear constantly? And the fact that Shep recognises this, I mean, he's up there as one of the best heroes, just because he recognises it and he proceeds with caution, and he doesn't go in with a I'm here now, you're fine, I'll fix everything. You say, he works with her time frame, within her boundaries, and checks in. And I just adored that. And, you know, we really see him breaking her walls down. Pun not intended, but works perfectly. And seeing them grow together, because, you know, he has things in his past that he's trying to sort of deal with and come to terms with. And so that vulnerability that they both have, and the connections. Now the connections, I don't know whether I've just been in deep Criminal Minds rewatch, so whether the connections were me just being like, or whether it's just standard. So we had a character that was a profiler in the BAU, and I was just like, and maybe that's the thing that's just like commonplace, but to me, being British, like the only thing I have with that is like Criminal Minds. And so, and when they go to somebody that's a little bit on the digital side and gets in the darkness, and I'm like, is that you, Penelope? And that might just be me, or it might be because the author is also a Criminal Minds fan. I don't know. But if she is, high five. Or if it's just me like reading too much into it, like, shucks. But yeah, even though this was a difficult read for me, it was an amazing one. And this is why, because I knew going in the content, I just didn't know the effect it was going to have on me. But that is why warnings are so important. So at least if you know it's something, you can at least prepare for it. And there are a couple of spicy scenes, nothing too much. I know, you know, I've seen some content which has focused solely on that. For me, honestly, I think it's doing a disservice to the book, because it is so much more than those scenes. I mean, those scenes are important because we see the impact the abuse has had, and see her letting go, and we see him caring for her, checking in, making sure she's okay. And there are some twists and some like what the heck moments, and it was a great lesson. I have had so many fantastic lessons this year, all courtesy of Muscle Audio. I mean, they are delivering, man. But yeah, I highly recommend doing this, and I will definitely be picking up book 1 in the series and checking out more of Catherine's books. But yeah, go check it out.